What's up, guys? Repeat back with you. Week number 2 of the NNR playoffs. Week number 2, live from Watkins, Glen International. It's going to be one hell of a race. These guys out there, qualifying's done, everything is done, getting ready to, take these lefts and rights the best that they can. Big thank you to Bowling for the invite, as well as SWATs. Man, it's going to be, and for some reason the invite didn't take. Let's try that one more time. There we go. Okay, now we'll go ahead and get loaded in. Vols, what's happening, man? I will be all by myself tonight. Unfortunately, the one and only Expert Racing is going to be unable to make it, taking care of his family. So, man, from time to time, I have to take a little bit of a break. Got a good old bottle of Ray's energy drink right here to keep me hydrated, to keep me peppy, keep me going. As always, we're going to start off in stage number 1, that decal right next to the stage 1 flag. Still remembering our buddy, old J. Lee Cox Jr., old GRM Joker. Rock, good to see you out there in chat. Capes, good to see you. Monster, congrats on your outside pole. I think that's what that meant. Yeah, it's gonna be a great ride. And I guess it kicked me out. It's gonna bring me back in again. Let's try that again. We'll go through the field. Should have between 10 and 15 guys out on track. Cinepuse, thanks for the 98 bits, man. Definitely appreciate that. Not quite sure why it kicked me out and then it's going to bring me back in again. But they should still be on their pace lap by the time I make my way in there. So we'll go through the field as always. Looks like on the pole is going to be the 20 of Spoiled Milk. We got the 26 of Matarianet, or better yet, just call him Yeti. Then we got the 88 of the one and only TGMBs, hashtag JPA Militia. 38 of your series points leader. There is the one and only Bowling in that Crossley Ford F-150. 21 of old Tenacious Z with the double O. There, okay, double O of Bossy Geo. Pride of Nassau, Bahamas. Wish I opened up my door and saw those crystal blue waters every day. There you got the 51 of the series leader, Swatch. Swatch, big thank you for keeping this truck series rolling all season long. We've got 4 more races after tonight. Big thank you to that man. 19 of Cowboy. Cowboy's been doing a phenomenal job over on the iRacing side. I believe he's going to start right about P number 7. 3 truck of NNR Monster. He's been out there in chat a little bit already. We got the 16 one and only Classic Stu as they exit the bus stop, getting ready to go through the carousel. 24 of Krabby Soup. Krabby, I look forward to seeing this guy really do a great job this week. I'm pretty sure he's very strong on these road courses, so we'll have to see. 98 of Pop Bear. Pop Bear had a P3 finish last week, and he made it to the booth. He was completely ecstatic. I think it'll be even better if he makes it in on a road course top 3. So looking forward to seeing what that 98 can do. Going into turn number 6, we are back with the leaders. Raised on blacktop. Exactly. Spoiled Milk got the pole. The 26 of Yeti 2 is outside, coming off of turn number 7, heading down this front stretch, about to enter the Raise Energy restart zone. Good luck to everybody out there, just like the one and only Rock NASCAR says. Good luck, all drivers. Here we go. We are green. Week number 2 in the NNR Truck Series playoffs. Right now, I can tell you that Bowling's got one hell of a lead. He's got almost 2 hands on that championship. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to take it from him. But, man, when it comes to these road courses, there's always 1 or 2 ringers that can put a little bit of a crinkle in anybody's plans. A week or so ago, the one and only Swatch driver of that 51 said this was going to be his best chance to try to come on up here and grab a W. So we'll have to see if he's able to put that 51 machine in victory lane, or at least the top 3 tonight, as we're side by side behind the leader going through the carousel. The 20 and the 88 going through. You got the 38 right behind him. That's his view looking right on from P number 4 right now. going into turn 6, about to complete their first lap of green flag racing. I believe it's like 174 laps or something like that tonight. I'll double check once these guys make it to the start stripe. I will have NNR SWATs, Cowboy, and Monster all streaming tonight. As you look, there are 3 wide for P number 1. Looks like they're going to go ahead and check up 88 of Beast underneath the 38 of Bowling. Looks like Bowling might be able to take the lead, but they're not going to give it up without a fight. SS Motorsports, a.k.a. Shadowlac, good to see you out there. Yeah, man, I know you absolutely would have been strong, but I know that you had to put truck racing aside to concentrate on your on your work, and I completely get that. Still going to work our way through. Again, Cinepuse, big thank you. J-Pie out there right now, dropping 88 bits for driver number 88. We'll go ahead and actually find him right now. There he is, driver 88 in this Smithfield Ford F-150. That's, again, TGM Beast riding P number 2 right behind the 38 of Bowling. They're coming across the start stripe one more time. And, again, once Cowboy or SWATs or the 3 of Monster come across the start stripe, I'll go ahead and grab that lap count for you. Okay, thanks for the 38 bits to pull for old driver 38. There you see him right there in P number 1. And I really should have turned that fan on before I started, because boys and girls, it's getting a little warm in here. Alright, so it looks like right now, driving along or riding along with the 19 of Cowboy, he's got about 11 laps of fuel left in the tank. So they should be able to get, I'm going to guess about 15 laps, but we'll have to see if tires come into play like they did last week. I was kind of curious when SWAT said that there is no, Master Killer all by myself. Unfortunately, Expert had to take care of some sick family. So yeah, by myself right now. We're working through. But as you can see, a lot of these trucks are taking them four-wheeling. Having to throw it in four-wheel drive to get through some of these corners. There are no issues with out of bounds tonight, unless you like completely blow the rules out of to the side. There's no looks like kind of drove through him right there. But yeah, there's no issues with having to keep 2 tires on the track as we come to that first caution. So I'm going to take a quick little commercial break right here, grab something to drink, and turn this fan on. Be right back. If my mouse will start working for me, there we go. Alright, here we go. I'll rack the stack back up. Everybody had about a good old 30 to 40 seconds there to go on down pit road and make their first round of adjustments. Have to see who frees it up, who tightens it up, who does what. But riding with the 20 that was your pole sitter, he's sitting at about P5 right now. First and second, they kind of came out right where they were. 38 of Bowling. The 88 of B sitting right there in P2. Everybody going down the backstretch, heading towards the bus stop. Now, like I was saying, there's no issues. Anybody, they don't have to keep 2 tires on the blacktop at all times. Yeah, Master Killer, you want to come on out? Come on up, buddy. Just let me know when you get here, and I will make sure everybody else out there can hear you, sir. As we got a battle for the lead. Nope, 88 actually went ahead and gave it up. He's not going to challenge him right now, maybe hold back just a little bit. We're going to keep working our way through the field and try to keep everybody out there up to date on where their favorite driver is. And as I promised, riding along right now with Cowboy, after that caution, once he comes to the start stripe, as he rides in P number 4, and you just saw him cross the line right there in that safe white Toyota. There is just 10 laps remaining in stage number 1. All right, so stand by. Y'all are about to hear the extremely hypnotic voice of the one and only Master Killer. Y'all have seen him drive that 98 around the track in the NNR Xfinity Series. MK, guys that helped me out a whole bunch last season when we were giving away a whole bunch of stuff. Now in the booth, Master Killer, thank you very much for coming up, hanging out, joining me. Man, some of these trucks going to have to really hope they don't clog their grill with the dirt and grass that they're kicking up, really cutting this course. How you doing tonight, bud?
I'm doing pretty good tonight. How about you, Pete?
Man, I can't complain. These guys, they're, for the most part, flying on through. Had that one caution pretty quick. Couple guys going through the S's got a little too close for comfort, and it caused some issues. But everybody should be able to go the rest of the way here in stage number 1 on their fuel and their tires. Now, I know you being part of, that hashtag JPOD Militia, you probably got a soft spot in your heart for the 88 at TGM Beast. Is there anybody else out here that you're keeping an eye on, though?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, 26. I've raced with him at Watkins Glen before, so he tends to be really good and have a lot of speed. He'll be one to watch, although he may make some mistakes that may come back to bite him, but he's just going to have to be clean out there. And just racing in the past with Cowboy, Matt's been pretty good here too. It's just a patience game at Watkins Glen, and just hitting your marks.
Yeah, this is very much all about your marks. You got 7 different turns. People have different braking zones getting into the bus stop, different speeds, different abilities getting around the carousel when they're getting back on the throttle so they don't spin out. It's going to be really interesting. Riding along right now with the 51 of Swats, the NNR series admin for the Truck Series. He called his shot a couple of weeks ago, saying that when we got to the Glen, this was going to be his best shot to punch his way or to get that elusive win on the season so far. I'm actually moving on up to pick him up right now. And right now he's running in P3. So this Rowdy Energy machine that he's got, it's only it's only behind the 38, which has been dominant all season, and the 88 of Beast. He's got he completely disregards any bit of that grass coming through the bus stop. Really carrying a lot of speed through there. They don't have to keep 2 tires on the blacktop tonight. They could go anywhere they want, but if they get that course penalty, it's all on them.
Yeah, that's just that doesn't need to be the blacktop. They just need to make sure they get enough of that the curving when they go through the corner, just to make sure they don't get that time penalty. Could I get an invite to the race, by the way?
Hey, yeah, that would probably be a good idea. Absolutely. Now, let's see. Are you showing online? Yep, there you are. There you go, buddy.
Sweet.
Yep. So right now we're riding along with the 20, with the 19 right behind him. You mentioned the 19 of Cowboy. Cowboy does have one of our onboards tonight, so we're kind of keeping up with him to see exactly how he's doing. Right now, Cowboy is riding around in P4, so just behind that 51, and not doing too bad at all, unless his stream's just a little bit behind. He might be in P number 5. Here's the 3 truck though of NNR Monster, or Monster Mike, NNR Chevy, as a lot of people have gotten to know him throughout the season. He originally started the the season as Monster Mike, then switched it over to NNR Chevy. Now it's just NNR Monster. So kind of taking it back to a way that he started not too long ago. And here he is doing a pretty good job. And actually, he's got our third onboard. So he's back here in this Bommarito.com Chevy and sitting in P number 10. Looks like, I thought maybe we had a manual caution on track because the 21 of Tenacious was so slow. I'm guessing something else was going on, and or they might be racing back to, I don't know. It just seemed like all of a sudden they bunched up, but maybe it's just it was just the game lagging a little bit.
Yeah. 26 is going to have to rebound from that caution restarting in the back. That's going to be an uphill climb for him in stage 1. He'll have to find a way to position himself in stage 3 for the final run. Right now it's just managing your truck and not overdoing it to where you make another mistake and you're further back.
You know, looking at the 26 right now, he's I think, did you say the 20 or the 26? Sorry.
26.
26, okay, yeah. Looking at the 26 right now, riding right behind the 98 of NNR Papa Bear. Papa Bear's, I got to give him credit. He's doing it the right way. He's got 2 tires on the track, 2 tires on the rumble strips, helping that truck to turn as he exits turn number 7, coming down the front strips. Has the 26 right in tow. And yeah, they're doing a pretty good job. They got about 4 laps remaining here in stage number 1 as the 26 Yeti looks underneath the 98, going to put him back one more spot. But I think it's gonna be just a little bit too late for that 26 to try to work his way back in. Let's go ahead and try to find our leader. There is the 20 of Yeti. Looks like our leader is still the 38 of Bowling, and there's Bowling and Beast still nose to tail, looking backwards from Beast. Nobody in his rear view, so he's really just got to try to figure out when or if there's any spots that he might be able to do something better than Bowling. Or, you would know Bowling, or I'm sorry, Beast a little bit better than I would. How much time has he spent here to try to prepare himself, especially after hearing Bowling last week saying he was really looking forward to this track, being that it's one of his better ones?
Yeah, he definitely closed in right there. It's Beast just sitting in second, playing the patient game until the final lap, and it'll either come down to Beast making better corners or a mistake by Bowling that helps Beast get around him for the stage win. Right now, Beast is just going to play the patient game, as it looks like Bowling didn't get through the bus stop that well. They're in the carousel now. He's definitely applying a lot of pressure from the 38. I don't think the 38 wants to spend that much time looking in his rearview mirror.
No, not at all. I mean, the 38, he's got that 88 filling up that rear view, but he's really got to concentrate on those marks that you talked about just a little bit ago. And it definitely looks like the 88 is able to get in and through. Looks like he's rolling those corners just a little bit better. Not sure if the 38 has any kind of damage, but we've got a brand new leader, 88 of TGM Beast, hashtag JPA Militia, coming to the front, putting the 38 behind him, but it looks like Bowling might get a great run down low. Here we go again, battle for the lead, coming up through the S's. There's no inside or outside here, it's just in and out, left and right. But looks like 38 was able to get a better exit off of turn 1, which set him up for the S's, and put the 88 right back where he was. But he knows where he's been able to catch the 38 and pass him. So we'll have to see. You see just how much he closes in on that 38, going through the bus stop and now entering the carousel. 38 just looks like he is struggling to get back in the gas. Whenever he does, it seems to back in wants to come out. So I'm pretty sure he's tiptoeing it around the less grip of the corners. But it was definitely the experience by the 38 just to do the quick crossover that gave him back the lead going into turn 2, as Beast is making a run to the inside or the right. Yep.
Will Beast get him off? Bowling is going to get him back on the left side.
Yeah, Bowling's coming back on the left or on the outside, whatever you want to call it. But B should have the preferred line, and he's going to shove that Toyota in there.
Oh, contact.
That little bit of contact, that's going to shove the 38 up. But I think B said, man, I apologize. I don't want to take the lead like that, and let him go. So, again, we got that Crossley Ford F-150 in the lead. 88 of Beast right there, and Beast has been phenomenal. He's been quicker than Bowling, getting into and off of all these corners. Just seems like he's been able to roll them a little bit better. Again, going through the bus stop exactly where he cut it before. When they come to the start stripe next time by, it'll be 1 lap to go here in stage number 1, Master Killer.
Yeah, but it definitely looks like Bowling has the first half of the course down, and then Beast is just able to get off the corners better at the back half of the lap, and Beast is making another run at him. He just needs to get more contact.
Yep.
I think that was more Bowling trying to get on the gas, and the back end just didn't have enough grip.
Last lap here, last lap, stage number 1. The 88 has been able to get on by Bowling in a couple of different zones. Here he is all over that Crossley tailgate coming up through the S's. Beast just going to try to rattle that cage maybe just a little bit. Say, hey man, I'm here. I've seen you get through these corners. I am faster. Let me go. Bowling in no dire need for any kind of bonus points. Beast trying to close in the gap. At the last time I saw, when I was looking at the points just before this race, Bowling had about 48 points back to second. So we'll have to see if Beast can close in. A little bit of issue there. Got kicked up off the rumble strips. Going down the backstretch here, Master Killer. Take us to the flag.
It's definitely going to be an uphill climb. Let's see if Beast can get through these last 2 corners. Bowling definitely has the advantage. He could definitely take it easy, in my opinion, and back up his corners a little bit. Beast does not have enough time to get back to him, and it looks like Bowling's going to come back to the stripe and be your stage 1 winner.
Yep, so NNR Bowling knocking out stage number 1, max points for him. J-Pot out there saying push him out of the way. He's got enough points. I couldn't agree more. All right, guys and gals, we're going to take a quick little break, obviously. As we always do, we'll take it on over to NNRLeague.com. We talked about the Zazzle tab and all the merchandise. Go on over, NNRLeague.com. Scroll on down, or go on over, I should say, to the home screen. You'll see the Zazzle tab there. Take a look at all the NNR red and NNR blue merchandise. Pick yours up. You never know. Let's go.
Hey NNR fans, are you looking for a way to rep your favorite NASCAR Heat Preset League on Xbox Live? Look no further. Just go to NNRLeague.com, scroll down to the Zazzle tab, and see what we have to offer. From t-shirts to hoodies to clocks, we have everything you need to show your support. Thanks for being the best fans, and we hope to see you at the track repping that NNR red.
All right, as always, anytime we take one of those quick commercial breaks, which, by the way, big thank you one more time to the one and only Greg Olenek, or NNR Mountain, as some of y'all may remember, for those commercials that we still use. MK, going back green, turn 1, here we come.
Yeah, it definitely looks like we've had a little bit of strategy with Matt getting out the lead. I don't know if that was a mistake or the move he wanted to pull, but it's not going to be enough as Bowling gets past him, and when Matt overshot turn 1, Bowling goes back to the lead with Matt in second and Beast in third, with Beast looking to the right side of Matt for second.
Yeah, looking ahead right now from the 00 of Bossy Geo, you see the 88, the 19 checked up a little bit. Beast went in extremely shallow and almost took out that guide rail that's out there. Trust me, I've done it before. It is not something you want to do. It causes all kinds of damage, which ultimately causes more time on pit road. But they were able to all get through there. 00 Bossy Geo now sitting in P number 4, looking at this long procession of cars going down the backstretch through turn 6. Leaders now into turn 7. Everybody's still chasing that 38. I'll go ahead and grab a lap count, see what we got here for stage number 2. I'll go ahead and actually unfurl that flag there we go. And at the line, the 3 of NNR Monster tells me there are 14 laps here in stage 2.
Beast just went wide into turn 1. It allows Matt to get back up in the second. That's a costly mistake that Beast now is able to say he got it. It happened in stage 2, and he's able to rally back.
Well, I mean, Beast, even though, NNR Cowboy got on by Beast, Beast has been very, very good on the long run, or so it seemed. But, man, just watching everybody plowing this dirt up, there's no recourse tonight for not keeping 2 tires on the race course or 2 tires in the dirt. If there's dirt and they know for a fact due to their practice over the last week that they will not get a course penalty, if it enhances their time, hey, why not do it? Me personally, I'd rather see everybody keep at least 2 on the blacktop, but that's not the way that the admins are calling this race.
Nope, and I would definitely be worried. I wouldn't want any part of my splitter getting into the grass and tearing up a really good race car. And just going through the dirt, it could definitely mess up your exit too, and you don't want to lose time. As we got the 3 just taking it wide and turn on, I saw that back there. Another costly mistake in stage 2.
Yeah, I saw the 3, and then I just saw the 51 completely loop it around as well. So I'm not quite sure if that's going to cause a caution, or if the admins, since there were 2 involved, if they'll call that manual caution. We saw the 3 go around, then we saw the 51 also go around. So we'll have to see if they woe it up, rack them, and stack them back up, and whatnot as soon as we get back to the start stripe. But riding on board right now with the 88 of B, still has the 19 right in front of him, but looks like that 38 starting to check out. We'll have to see if they all start hitting the binders here soon.
Yeah, it looks like 3 may have gone wide and may have lost it, looped it in front of the 51. But right now, it might. We'll have to see at the line if they low up or not. But it'll definitely be Bowling, Matt, and Beast in top 3 spots. Just they are doing a really good job being patient, letting the race coming into their hands. So, looks like there is a caution out, most likely for the incident with the 3 and the 51.
You called it. Yep. As soon as Bowling hit the stripe, made his way into turn 1. You see the 19 of Cowboy and the 88 of Beast, as well as the 00 of Bossy Geo back there in P number 4. So yeah, everybody's going to get another chance to come on down pit road, make any kind of adjustments that they may or may need, or just keep everything as status quo. Grab 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods, fill it up with whatever they need to make it to the end of stage 2, and then come on out of pit road and see where the chips may fall.
Yeah, it gives everyone a chance to catch their breath after a restart. That was pretty chaotic in the back half. Everyone in the front half was just pretty much getting their spots clean and smooth. Bowling pretty much got out in the lead with Matt dropping his spot since the restart. Most likely a strategy call by the 19, and it's definitely gone in his favor so far in this stage.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If the 19 only took right sides or something like that, only took enough fuel, if he had some left in the tank, that absolutely played off in his favor. Or some people just had to fix up a little bit of damage, so it was less time on pit road. But I imagine everybody's going to come on down right here. Yep, you see Bowling. Oh, Bowling actually faked it. So did the 19 of Cowboy. A few others behind. Further in the back, it is the perfect opportunity for them to go on in, grab what they need, and they should be faster than these guys. But Bowling, the 19, and the 88, they were pretty quick.
Yeah, it's definitely a game of cat and mouse with strategy calls. They definitely got most of the field on that. Only 4 trucks stayed out, with Bowling, Matt, the 20, and looks like the 21 and Tenacious. The rest of the field, though, I mean, that's not many trucks, as 21 gives 20 a bump. It's not much of a field between the guys that stayed out and the guys that did pit. So I doubt it'll take very long before, you know, Beast and them get through the field and get towards the front. That wasn't that long on green between stage and caution, so it's just that extra few laps. And it's just equals that more grip. And if I was bowling, I think I would have preferred grip.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know, those guys, double file coming through the bus stop right now. Checking on with the 3 of Chevy right now, or Monster. He's got 13 laps in the tank. Next time he comes on by the start stripe, which should be for a green flag. We'll see exactly how many laps are left. He's riding right now on P10. He's got the 98, the one and only Pop Bear, sitting right in front of him. As the field continues to make their way around, everybody should be in time, or should be in position before that green flag waves, getting closer and closer to turn number 6. Still 38-19-00. That's going to be your top 3. Man, it's going to be close.
Mm-hmm. I'm definitely puzzled that Browning's going to be starting on the left side instead of the right. It's just maybe a courtesy thing between him and Matt. We'll see. As they're coming to the start finish line, heading the restart box now, and we're back green.
38 of Bowling caught the 19 sleeping as he checked up. That allowed the 38 to pull away just a little bit. So a little bit of a snooker move, and that let the 20 go to the outside. Bowling, yep, he's going to be able to take sole possession of P number 1. That put the 19 of Cowboy back to P number 3. He's got 8 laps of fuel left in the tank, while those that just pitted will have 13. So definitely an advantage there. I gotta see, were they planning on maybe a caution coming out one more time, or do they already feel like they've got enough to be able to make it the rest of the way? We'll get a lap count as they come on by the start stripe next time.
Yeah, as Bowling gets out to a commanding lead. Second place has changed hands with the 20. He got the 21 of Tenacious behind him going into the second to last corner. Oh, no, that's not Tenacious. That's Matt behind him.
Yep, that's a 19 of Matt and a 20 right there as well. Jukin and Jive in 4th position. There you see the 88, the 26. 26 has made up quite a few spots since riding behind Papa Bear for about 9th and 10th before. And it looks like we've got 9 laps remaining here in stage number 1. I just mentioned that the 19 of Matt, he's only got 7 laps. So, yeah, the 19's going to be short. We'll have to see. I know he's got the wheel. I know he's got the shifter. We'll have to see if he can actually maybe try to save just a little bit. J-Pa says, MK, I need some excitement from you. Watching the Beast and the 19 of Matt right there with the 20 going through the bus stop. Matt all over the place. There you see the 21 of Tenacious Z.
20's nowhere
right
in
there
sight. 20 had an issue going into turn 1 and fell back to about 9th, 10th place. Matt seems like he had a big checkup, and that caught Beast off guard. Beast went into the grass, but the 20 overshot turn 1, and now he's sitting back there in 9th place.
Yeah, something happened back here with Pop Bear saw the 3 and the 98, and I think there's one other made some contact. So I'm curious now if they're racing back to the start stripe again. I know I think at least 2 trucks went around. We'll have to see. And if the caution does come out, this will definitely help the 19 and others that stayed out. But it looks like there's still...
I can confirm caution is out.
Yep, caution is out. Just saw the 19 backing on down. And looking at his stream, he is completely out of gear. In fact, let me see if I can go ahead and pull this up for you. Give me 1 sec. Nope, that ain't going to work. Never mind.
That was a drag race between the 19 and 88 getting to the start finish line, and 88 was able to use the fresh tires and the grip to get to the start finish line and pass the 19 for second.
Let's try that again. Stand by one. I promise. All right, here we go. So yeah, there you see the 19 sitting behind Bowling and the 88 of Beast. Just playing with the throttle a little bit. I imagine on the backstretch he'll throw it back into neutral. There you see. That's what he's doing, trying to save as much as he can, giving it a little bit of gas, and then you see the RPM drop, throwing it back into gear, picking up a little bit of speed, dropping it back down again so he doesn't have to worry about maybe that lap of fuel. Might be able to save just a little bit to make it the extra bit there.
Yeah, he's definitely playing the stage by the card. He knew that there would be a couple cautions. It'd be a good opportunity to at least save some fuel and see if he can just make it on one run.
And it looks like he stayed out one more time. We were riding around there with Papa Bear for a little bit, but the 19 there he is still sitting in P3, so he didn't come on down. I'm kind of perplexed by that, because you got to figure that he would come down pit road to grab at least a can, but that's also a whole lot of track position as well.
Mm-hmm. I think where he's positioning himself right now instead of stage 1, he wants some extra points, so he's definitely playing the strategy card and trying to get some extra points, because this is a very important just run to the championship. He just
I'm not sure if that was a little bit of lag or what that was. I think he might just be falling to the back. This isn't like iRacing where he says, he actually just commented in the chat, says didn't miss anything, have a plan. So we'll have to see what the plan for that 19 is. But I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing when he just typed that out, that's where you just saw him hit the wall. But he says that he's got a plan. We'll have to see. It says with his onboard, he's got 6 laps of fuel left. Yeah, it's gonna be very, very.
That's
tight.
gonna be a nail biter for him on trying to make it on either tires or fuel. I think it's the fuel game he's going to be most worried about here, as they're going to start coming to the green.
Yeah, you see the last couple of guys trying to catch back up to the field as they go through turn 6, entering turn 7. 88 of Beast, 38 of Bowling. These two have been able to stick around each other for the most part throughout stage number 1. Here we go to wrap up stage number 2, 38, 88, 19. And I believe that is the 20. Yep, that's going to be the 26. Take us back green here, MK.
Yep, we're back green, and the 88's going to try to use the right side going into turn 1 as the preferred lane. 38 dives it in hard. 38's going to be able to get off the corners. He's going to be able to clear up. Oh, 26 around. There's going to be a crash in the back.
Yeah, I see the guys all very spread out going back through, but I don't know if the 26 spun by himself, trying to catch back up with him right now. If he did go around by himself and no other trucks got collected, the caution would not fly. So far, no game caution has come out. There is the 21 of Tenacious 00. There's the 51 of Swats. Still, again, no caution. There's a 16. There's Pop Bear. There's a 26. I don't see any other trucks near him. It might have just been all him, so we would stay green.
Yeah, I'm very curious if there was another truck that may have gotten the edge of him, the back end of his truck. By how I saw it, I think the 3 may have nipped him, but who really knows? As the battle for the lead is heating up, 88's again looking to the right of the 38, trying to get the preferred line. We'll see if the 38 can go in deep and try to get the run off.
Absolutely, TGM Beast rides that corner as deep as possible. Great job outbraking the 38 of Bowling, coming up through the S's. Again, the 88 able to get into the lead. Been about the only one that's been able to challenge Bowling all the way through. Bowling giving a big old shove to that tailgate for TGM Beast. Coming to the bus stop. Who will outbreak who? Bowling is the first one to hit the binders. 88 flying on through, getting to the carousel. You see him flying just a little sideways, little slideways. 88 now under fire from that 21 of Tenacious Z. Let's see if we actually ride on board with him. P number 3 with a pretty good gap back to P4.
Yeah, 38's going to have a challenge on his hands with both Beast and Tenacious having fresh tires. 38's gotten most of the stage without pitting, so that could definitely hinder him. He may be trying to use up his stuff a little bit more than anticipated to keep up with the leader. It's still going to be a good points now to him, and Matt can stay in the top 5 for the stage.
Yeah, talking about the 19 of Matt, Cowboy Matt, or NNR Cowboy, what he goes by now. He's showing 3 laps left in the tank, 4 laps to go, so he is 1 lap short. He's really got to be working that shifter, try to save as much as he can where he can. Coming up through the S's, keeping it wound up through the carousel. Doesn't have anybody right behind him, but man, he's really got to try to save a lot. As watch him go through the bus stop right there. He's only in 3rd gear, so 3rd gear you're actually using up more fuel than you would as if you were in 4th. 4th gear is lower. I'm sorry, 4th gear is 4th gear is lower, so you're not burning as much. Still staying in 3rd through most of the backstretch, going to 4th about halfway down, going into turn number 6. Man, that 19 is playing every bit of that fuel strategy game.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see if he doesn't think he'll have enough. He may just pit before the leader takes 2 to go. But it looks like he's stayed out for most of this. So it's definitely going to be a nail biter for him. It's definitely going to be an interesting strategy move that he played at the end of stage 1. And it will be a net gain if he can stay in the top 5. The top 5 is a pretty talented group, with the 24 sitting back there behind him as well, of Krabby, so.
Yep, Krabby Soup riding right behind that 19. I've got to wonder if Krabby Soup, I don't remember if he pit or not during that first caution, but he's in the tire tracks of the 19 of Cowboy Matt. We'll have to see exactly where he finishes, or if he's able to apply any additional pressure to the 19. Does it push the 19 back further? All the lights inside that 19 truck are lit. I mean, his fuel, his tires, every single bit of it. So I'm guessing he was banking on one more caution, but he is 1 lap short. Or does he, as it looks like he's going to come on down? Yep, he's coming down pit road right here. Or does he pull a even bigger strategy? Does he come down pit road right here and not come down pit road when the stage 3 flag unfurls? Fry Dog, what's happening, man? Good to see you.
Yeah, it's definitely curious to see if he actually got onto pit road before the leaders took 2 to go to the stage. I'm definitely worried with 38 being on the same strategy if he can go all the way. The leaders have, I think, lapped the 26, so 26 will be the lucky dog if he can hold it. Right now, Beast is still leading, Bowling 2nd, Tenacious 3rd. It's definitely been a good move by Beast to get fresh tires and get out front.
Well, yeah, I mean, you just called it. 88 of Beast is sitting here in P number 1, going through turn 6, heading towards turn 7, getting a great arc into the corner. And this will be for the final lap of stage number 2. So the 88 taking it down the front stretch, hitting that start stripe right now. All he's got to do is manage the gap between him and the 88 of Bowling. Beast is, again, I know I mentioned it before, has been about the only one that's been able to do anything with Bowling. Bowling clearly looks to have fallen off just a little bit. Once the 88 was able to get on by, it was just smooth sailing. And, yeah, nobody's been able to touch this Ford at all.
Yeah, it's a pretty big gap between the leader and the 2nd. He could pretty much take his time. I know the 38 was on the same strategy as the 19, so he's definitely probably having to save a little bit more, and so he's probably not running as hard as he needs to. So 88's got a dot in his mirror as 38 went wide in the carousel. Must have just overshot it. But Beast did a pretty good job this stage, went against the leader, and it worked out for him as he was going to come out the final corner and have an easy way to the start-finish line to win stage 2.
Yeah, big congratulations to the 88 of TGM Beast. Stage 2 in the books, max points for a guy that absolutely needs it. And actually, I'm going to take a quick look here at the overall points. I believe Beast is not too far behind Bowling, if my mouse will actually work here. One issue with a wireless mouse does not always connect. Yeah, Beast was sitting 48 points behind Bowling as tonight's race kicked off. So this is absolutely going to help him just a little bit. Guys and gals, one more quick little break for stage number 2. If for anybody out there not yet know how to follow NNR, come check it out. Here we go.
Hey NNR fans, don't miss any of the action by following or subscribing to Repeat's Twitch channel. Turn on notifications and you'll always know when the best preset league on Xbox hits the track. Check out his YouTube channel too to see all of NNR's past races. Follow No Name Racing as well as Repeat 1975 and others on Twitter, and you'll never miss any of the action.
And there we go. So yeah, man, it's been a great stage 1 and stage 2. We're gonna go ahead and rack and stack them all back up one more time. Stage 3, the flag is out, getting ready to go. MK, take us green.
We're back green, as it looks like Matt did pull the unthinkable, and again, his strategy moves has got him to the lead, but not the preferred line. Tenacious hard into turn 1, got it into Beast. Beast, I probably didn't think too kindly of that, but he still got the preferred line for the second turn, as now second and third battle with Matt and Bowling come up to the right. Bowling still has the preferred lane. Tenacious is pushing Bowling, and they're going to have to single file out. They don't want to be double file going into this carousel. Tenacious hard contact between second and third. 3 wide. No, that's not going to work.
Oh, Bowling got
there goes
clipped.
Bowling.
Bowling got clipped. Going to go to the very far inside wall. Going to lose a ton of spots. The 21 of Tenacious sent Bowling. I mean, he just hook, line, and sinkered that Crossley Ford F-150. He's now sitting behind the 98 of Pop Bear. Pop Bear sitting at about old P number 10. So Bowling's really going to have his work cut out for him. As we come across the start stripe, I'll go ahead and grab a lap count, see exactly what we have here for stage number 3. The 21, or I'm sorry, that was the 20 rather, that was kind of crossed up just a little bit. 34 laps make up stage number 3.
That's going to be a lot of time, and don't know if Bowling has enough damage or it's going to hinder him. Don't know if it's enough time. It's definitely going to be a pit stop and going to be another uphill battle. Just worse that it happened in the beginning of stage 3. I know he's going to have a chat with Tenacious after the race. Tenacious just was way too aggressive. Just when they went 3 wide, that just turned into horrible events for the two.
Absolutely. You saw the 19 of Cowboy go underneath the 38. You had the 21 to the outside of the 38. So 3 wide through the bus stop does not work. But man, Cowboy completely shot the gap and was able to make it work. And he's now in the lead here at Watkins Glen. You called him out earlier in the race, MK. You said that the 19 has been pretty good here. I talked to him in pre-race, says, Pete, I don't know what you expect from me tonight. So right now, he's got that Toyota in the wind.
Yeah, well, with what you have to do for to get the jump on everyone for the stage caution, he definitely had to come in before the 2 to go pits closed, and you spend 2 laps out on track with the tires, so it definitely ain't as equal as to the guys that pitted during the stage. So that's a disadvantage, but the advantage of being up front and having the clean air is much more impactful than being in the back around other trucks and dirty air and just not wanting to get into any types of trouble. So he lucked out on that whole thing with Tenacious and Bowling.
Sorry about that. Trying to fix something here. I'm guessing I need a new battery. This mouse is lagging whenever I try to do anything. I apologize if my audio all of a sudden took a dump. Gonna go ahead and turn that up just a little bit. There we go. Now I'm back to normal. Been riding along with the 3 of Monster, and just saw, I believe that was going to be the 26 that went around. If he collected anybody, we may see a caution. If not, 32 laps remaining. We're going to stay so far green flag.
Yeah, it looks like second place was under attack, but third place kind of overshot. This is probably the best case for Beast with the 38 of Bowling having issues. Both of them switching spots for stage 1 to stage 2, and Beast just now needing to stay ahead of Bowling to get the max amount of points possible. Just the gain on Bowling. Going through, who was the third truck that was near him? Oh, the 51, that was Swats in third, who was battling Cowboy for a minute. So,
yeah, Swat said a couple weeks ago that he thought he was going to do very, very well tonight. Shadowlac was out there in chat earlier saying he really wished that he'd been able to race, but unfortunately he had to kind of let these Tuesday night races go in order to make sure. Hey man, I always say, just like I told Expert earlier, he said that he had to take care of a very, very sick family member, and I told him, yo, life and family first. This is just a game. Yo, this is what it is. So looks like Swats just went around one more time.
We definitely wish the best for both cases for Expert and Shadowlac. Nothing we don't want to see happen to any one of the drivers out there.
Yeah, no, I mean, you have to make sure that you take care of your family. This is, at the end of the night, yeah, points are points. This is still just a game. I know that there's a lot of very, very competitive people out there. I'm one of them, man. If I get wrecked on iRacing or whatever, I absolutely, I can go off a little bit. Not as bad as some of these other guys, but man, they're real world before any kind of a game.
Yep.
So we're still working our way through. Got a line of cars here, all behind the 24 Hooters Chevy Silverado of Krabby Soup. Looks like from third on back, pretty good line of trucks going into turn 1 right now, MK.
Yep, we definitely want to keep a close eye. 38 of Bowling has made his way up to the back of the 21. Don't know if he's going to show any displeasure or not, or we'll be like, I'll forget that. I'm going to race you, try to pass you as clean as I can. And this will probably be for, yeah, 4th position as Bowling goes to the right, looking for the inside, for the edge into the bus stop. Ooh, Tenacious, big check up in the grass. He's going to check up and lose a couple of spots. He may have gotten a penalty. That's going to stop in the middle of the track. As he got to 26-2, there's second truck around.
Yeah, that him going flat through the grass in the middle of the bus stop absolutely stopped him, and the game stopped him in probably a pretty bad spot, because that is exactly where most people would be, exiting the bus stop. So bad spot, but man, you gotta serve the penalty.
Yeah, it doesn't help that you don't get a chance to get your truck out of the way. It just plain stops you. And getting a time penalty definitely sucks, but it's just it hurts everyone behind you when you just stop in the middle of the track and you can't move. We'll see. It doesn't look like that issue brought out a caution, or maybe it didn't get out in time. We'll just have to see when they come around to the next lap. But the top 4 is still pretty much the same as how they started. Bowling is up to P4th. It looks like that's Krabby in 3rd. Matt doing as good as he can do with what he's got in 2nd. Beast out to a pretty good lead, as he's got about half of that straightaway ahead of the 19 of Matt.
Yeah, I mean, riding along right now with the 19 of NNR Cowboy. He's there. You see the 24 Krabby Soup and the 38 of Bowling right behind him. So Bowling absolutely coming back from being forced all the way to the outside wall or inside wall, whichever you want to call it, since they raced in the opposite direction here at the Glen. But man, he's been able to rebound quite nicely. He's got that 24 right in his sights, and he knows that 19 is sitting in P number 2, just now starting at the bottom of the S's. We'll have to see just how fast Bowling is, and if he can catch back up, move Bowling up to P3. Doc Hollywood, good to see you, man. How are you?
It looks like Bowling has gotten around Krabby for third. I don't think Krabby put up too much of a fight. It looks like 38 is just putting all his focus into getting back into the front. And he's recovered pretty good from the incident he had, and he's pretty much gotten his way up through the field cleanly, and he's looking pretty good in third. The truck doesn't seem that badly damaged from what happened earlier.
Oh, 26 of Yeti sliding way off track and loops it around all the way up where towards Bowling got sent earlier, but able to grab a gear, get back on track, and he's going to lose at least 2 or 3 spots. He did that all by himself. Just got a little too loose coming off the exit of the bus stop and entering the carousel. Got up on that upper shelf, and there's just no way to control it. But good rebound by him, and try to press on. Still has, what do we got here? About 27 laps to try to recoup whatever positions and whatever points he can.
Yeah, I think the 26 is still suffering from when when Tenacious got stuck on the racetrack, and that brings the 26 day even worse downhill, and 26 is on pit road now, hopefully going to try to repair that damage and salvage the day he can get out of the rest of the race.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I just said 27 laps to go, so it seems like he might be cutting the remaining laps that are left right down the middle. Not quite sure if he had to go down pit road or not. I can tell you right now from riding on board with the 51 of SWAT, he's still got quite a few laps left in the gas tank. So I'm guessing he went on down, going to fix up whatever damage he can. He'll have to make one more pit stop just like everybody else, but he'll be on newer tires for a little bit longer. Have to see if it plays out for him. There is the 51 right now.
Yeah, so this is also going to bring the 26 down a lap. But Bowling looks like he's gotten past Matt for a second, so Bowling is still making his way up to the lead. He's still got a pretty good way to go, as the leader's already into the carousel, and Bowling has actually later just hit the carousel, so it's not that big of a gap, but it's still something that's going to take some patience and time, and Bowling just needs to hit his marks right.
Absolutely. Looking at the 88 of Beast right now. In front of him, they got nothing, and going all the way back towards the exit of Carousel, you just saw 1 or 2 trucks come on out. So he has the length of the entire backstretch before he's got to worry about anybody. But that 38 was absolutely coming. The only thing is here, MK, the 88 was faster than the 38 on the long run. And of course, the further you get up in the field, the faster the trucks get. So we'll have to see if he can actually catch Beast, as Beast goes really, really wide through turns 1 and 2. Now entering the S's.
Well, the difference between seeing them in stage 1 and seeing the 38 not be able to carry the speed off the corner to now is that they've had 2 pit stops and 2 chances to adjust on the 38 truck, and we'll have to see if the 88 has kept up with the adjustments or if he's kept his truck the same.
Yeah, it really looks like as the 38 goes into the bus stop, we just saw the 88 leave the bus stop and get into the carousel. Looking at the 38, looking ahead from him, he's all the way down on that yellow line now. Nobody there to give him any kind of an issue. As he exits the carousel, there you see the 88 taking turn 6. So he still has this entire backstretch all to himself. 88 under no pressure at all. He can make sure that when he wants to bring it on down pit road, he doesn't speed. He's got time. It looked like he was pretty clean, so it doesn't look like he'd really have to fix up any kind of damage. 88 might right now have this race in check. It all depends on if we see that late caution that we've seen before. Not only game caution, but if anybody wrecks out a little bit further in the back and collects 2 trucks or more, manual caution is called by the 51 of SWATs, the series admin. And it looks like talking about the 51 of SWATs, there he is. He's bringing it on down pit road. There you see the 19 of Cowboy Matt right in front of him. So green flag pit stops underway. 25 laps remaining.
All you can, just to pretty much what Beast is in the position he's in. He's not wanting to see the caution. He's wanting to see this go green to the end, and he's just pretty much out on the Sunday drive. But Bowling, on the other hand, who's sitting in second, is probably looking for the difference. He might not need a caution. He may just have pure speed to get up to Beast, and it'll just be coming down to Beast whether he makes a mistake or not. Or if any of them speed, one mistake on pit road can just take them out of the race for good.
Yeah, could absolutely take him out of the race. I was watching the 51 of SWATs a little bit ago. He just came out of the pits. He's got the 3 of Chevy or Monster right in front of him. He was all but shoving him off of pit road. And with your practice this week, I'm sure you found that if you leave the pits faster than you want to, it's very, very easy to hit that inside guardrail, just as you saw the 51 do getting into the bus stop. Very, very lucky that guardrail just didn't shoot him back out high. If something like that was to happen on iRacing, he'd already have all kinds of damage that he'd have to repair, or it might have been bad enough to cause very, very severe damage to the motor. But 51 doing everything he can to try to get back, I believe, into P number 3 when the rest of everybody comes on down pit road. We'll try to grab a top 5 here as soon as possible.
Yeah, Bowling pretty much is in the catbird seat. You can see the leader is now coming on a pit road. We'll see if Bowling sees that and it looks like he's also coming in. So Bowling was just in the catbird seat, just watching when following whatever Beast did. And as soon as Beast came on the pit road, Bowling was there following him in. So we'll have to see the difference in between their 2 pit stops and see whether Bowling gained any more ground, or he probably will lose some due to the damage he got earlier.
Yeah, it looks like all 4 hood pins on the front of this 88 and the 38 are pretty good. Krabby looked like he might have had a little bit of a little bit of damage to the front end of that thing. But still keeping up with the 88. There it is. He's done with his pit stop. 38 of Bowling, he's still parked. So the 88's going to still have a lot of track position on that 88. And not only that, 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods. And even as he got to the bottom of the S's, no 38 anywhere in his rear view. Getting up to the top of the S's, still no 38. 88 made up a ton of time. Now, MK, I'm not sure if you made any practice laps here at the Glen getting ready for your race in the Xfinity Series tomorrow night, but have you tried 2 tires? Have you tried anything less than 4 to see if it loosens you up too much, tightens you up too much? Do you have to change any wedge or whatever? If you do try that, to make sure you're able to control the car coming all the way around at this, the one and only road course in the playoffs.
I'm not going to give too much out of my strategy away, but
right.
For me, my focus is just on grip, and if I can have as much grip as I need, that's going to be the focus for tomorrow's race, as Bowling has now come out behind the 16 and the 00. So, but tomorrow's it's going to be, for me, all about grip and just having just enough to make it to the end, and just making sure I hit my marks clean and trying to limit any mistakes that may happen along the way.
Well, next time these guys come on by the start stripe, I think we're going to see about 21 laps remaining In fact, we'll double check right now. Yep, 21 laps. So everybody will have to come on down pit road one more time. I think they only get about 13 laps per full tank. So these guys are going to have the opportunity to maybe try a little extra to gain some time. Maybe just right side tires, or if your tires are wearing evenly and you felt pretty comfortable on them. I think Vols mentioned out there in chat a while ago that the tires actually hold on and you can get faster on older tires. I saw some people get a little loose, some people loop it around, but that also depends on where they started, I would think anyway, on that slider. If they started off a little bit higher, 7, 8, 9, they freed it up, they would get looser as the run goes on. Where if they started up somewhere in the middle, they might have that neutral feeling in the truck as the run goes on.
Yeah, we had a little bit of an inside scoop that came out of the 38 pit during his pit stop. It looks like he was speeding when he came down pit road, so he was held for a little longer, and they assessed the penalty to his pit time. So it definitely hurt Bowling, and it wasn't the mistake he needed. It definitely wasn't what he wanted to turn out, and now he's about half of a lap behind the leader. So definitely things going from bad to worse for Bowling, and he did not need this, trying to maximize his day.
No, definitely didn't need it. I'm going to switch on over. That ain't going to work. Anybody out there, that follows NNR Cowboy Matt, whatever it is now, NNR Cowboy. He's actually one of the newest affiliates as part of NNR. So every time I switch over to his stream to see where he is and if he's got a running order for me or whatever, it shows me a commercial now. So I got to make sure to resubscribe to him at some point. But as he comes across the start stripe now, 19 laps remaining, 9 laps in the tank. So very, very unfortunate for the 38, but he's had a fast enough truck to be able to try to make up some time. Right now that 19 is sitting in P2 as we watch that 51 up on 2 wheels all the way through the exit of turn 1, way down on the apron, way to hold on to it, keep steering it, whether he's on the gas or not. That was definitely a good old Dukes of Hazzard moment for the one and only NNR Swats.
Yeah, as we catch back up the Beast is going to be entering the final corner in a second. Just looking for second place. I believe it's Cowboy Matt, so he's just now hitting the same area that Beast was in, hitting the second to last corner. So Beast is pretty much on a Sunday cruise, and as long as no huge mistakes happen, it's just pretty much going to be an easy drive to victory for Beast. But it's not over till it's over. There can still be a caution, and I'm pretty sure he's hoping that he doesn't have to see that and go through one final restart.
Now, MK, what do you do if you're getting to your pit window? 13 laps, give or take. Do you come down early to try to come out on those 4 freshies, or do you take if you're listening or watching the stream at the same time and you see someone like Vols out there that says, man, you can get faster on older tires, do you take that and run with it? Or if you had kind of the foresight to practice that situation, do you only take 2 and try to make up just a little bit of time?
What it takes for me to succumb to getting 2 tires, it's the difference between how where am I at on the track, how much time is left in the race, or how many laps are left, and how long can 2 tires when they fully come in. It's all a strategy betting game, and if there's like a quarter left on the run that I'm currently on, and then that'd be the time to take 2 tires if it's just a small stretch to the end. But if it's a pretty good distance from when I pit and to the end, then 4 tires will always be the way to go. You never want to go wrong with just having brush his tires. Hearing that the older the tires are, the better your run is. I think it really just depends on your setup and how your truck is doing exit off. You could just be in a situation like Beast is, where he's so far ahead, he doesn't really have to push as hard. He can maximize his stuff and maximize the difference between him and second place, and it just becomes a patient waiting game, just trying to make your laps as clean as possible and hoping a yellow doesn't come out. And it's always a hard situation when you're at that point where you're just leader, you got pretty much everything in the bag, and you're not expecting a caution to come out. That just puts you in a space where you pretty much have to plan how you're gonna finish the race.
Well, one guy that's going to try to plan it out and finish the race as best as possible is this 00 of Bossy Gio. Just saw on the previous lap where they were going through the bus stop. Boss was absolutely just flat flying all the way through. He's even going to try to go ahead and get on by the 38 of Bowling. Wonder if Bowling is on a little bit of a different strategy here, maybe just a little bit of fuel as he allows the 00 to go on by, and now he's got the 16 of Classic Stu right in his rear view. But the way that Bossy Gio just flew on by the 38 makes me really think that Bowling has got that truck backed way down.
Yeah, 38 might just been put in a spot where he probably predicts that something else is going to happen, so he may be thinking ahead and probably will be planning on staying out if there's another caution and trying to just save as much as he can. But it's really hard to know in these situations when you don't have everything right in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to keep on going through the field. There is the 00 with the 16. Looks like Bowling. I'm guessing Bowling maybe he missed a shift or something. I don't know, because now it looks like Bowling was able to get on back by that 00. Missed that pass as well as the 16. Riding along right now with the 98 of Pop Air as he just came on by the start stripe. 14 laps remaining here at the Glen. This is only race number 1 of the week. We're gonna see you and probably close to about 15 or 16 other guys get ready to battle it out here tomorrow night with the Xfinity guys headed up by the one and only J-Pa. I know you've got Cole 315, you've got Q-Dog that won last week, as well as several other guys. Do you and a lot of the Xfinity guys all get together and practice, or do you kind of trust some of the guys and the way that they set up their car to go off of that setup? Do you turn your own laps or rely on the rest of the mafia or militia?
It's a little bit of everything. We bounce off each other for adjustments, but we pretty much have prior knowledge of how cars are going to react and handle and all that. So it really comes down to just knowing what you got and just bouncing off each other for info. We don't really go for just a straight setup. We pretty much have what we are going to run here tomorrow. It's just going to be a bunch of where we are at situational wise in the race, and just the communication between all of us, and we bounce off each other for ideas now and just concur on like cause and effect of what can happen, and it's pretty much our own little group that communicates. So
gotcha. Well, 13 laps to go, and we just watched the 38 of Bowling get on by the 19 of Cowboys, so that puts 19 back to P number 3. So right now, your top 3, the 88 of TGM Beast way out there in the lead. 38 of Bowling sitting back in P number 2, 19 of Cowboys sitting in P number 3, and Cowboys should be coming on down pit road within the next lap or so. whether we see caution or not, he's showing about 2 laps left in the tank. That Crossley Ford F-150 making his way through the bus stop, now into the carousel. 19, not too far off of his back bumper, keeping the best eye possible on that tailgate, knowing that he's going to be right there with 2 of the fastest guys that have ran around Watkins Glen this evening. And this should be it. I mean, when these guys come on down pit road, whether it's this lap or next, that's it. Whether they get a caution or not, that should be that should be it. Everybody will maintain whatever track position they get, and just as I said, 19, he just brought it down pit road.
Yeah, but it's definitely going to be a chess game when that caution comes out and what you're going to do. Bowling has made up probably half of the ground that he lost in that pit stop speeding penalty that he had, but it's still a pretty tough mountain to climb, as it seems like he's still a quarter of a lap behind Beast. And been watching Beast, and there was one time where he was going through the carousel and just overcooked it and completely ran the access cement on the outside. It wasn't on the track, as Beast now makes his way down pit road for his final pit stop of the race to get in his last adjustments if need be, and on to the finish he would go.
Boy, Beast was ultra conservative getting that 88 to the line. I see Krabby Soup, he's going to go flying on by. But yeah, Beast had, I mean, he just looked like he was crawling as he came across that commitment cone. There you see the 21 Tenacious Z on pit road. He's going to pull out just as the 88 pulls in. So we saw the 19 of Cowboy Matt come on down pit road. We'll kind of keep it right here. See if he comes out in 7 seconds, or if he takes that full 15 or 16 seconds for 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods and takes it on out. Man, that was pretty close. I don't think it was quite 7 seconds. I think Beast just took 4 and only the amount of fuel that he needed to take him this 13 laps, give or take, to make it to the end.
Bowling, he didn't pit with Beast this time, so he's gonna spend another lap out there, and with the ground he made up, Beast could just be on a drive and just taking his time. Bowling, I thought, would have used up his equipment trying to get back to leader, and then probably would have pitted a lap before, but he stayed a lap extra. 2 laps extra, so Bowling's definitely on a different plan. Maybe gonna make a strategy move when it comes down to the end, but I really doubt it, since Bowling and Beast pitted on the same lap the last time they were on pit road.
Yeah, Bowling, unfortunately, no on board with this 38, so not quite sure what he's doing, if he's trying to save anything or what. Bowling entered the race tonight with about a good 48 points ahead of TGM Beast in the championship hunt. If Beast does win tonight, yeah, it's going to knock some points off the lead that the 38 has, but if Bowling continues on with the dominant spree that he's had over the last several weeks, I think he's got like 12 wins on the season, something like that. He's almost got 2 hands wrapped around that championship trophy that he wanted to claim in the very, very early stages of the season, when he said, Pete, I want a truck championship, then I'll go to Xfinity, and then maybe I'll go to Cup, depending on what his schedule will allow. As we watch the 38 commit down pit road, he got in just a little bit faster, but I don't think it's going to be enough time to really put any kind of a big dent in the lead that the 88's had.
Yeah, and definitely right before he came in, that little straightaway before the final corner, it looked like he got loose and tagged the inside wall. We'll be curious to see if he's going to have damage repair or not. But just at this point, 38's probably thinking big picture and is probably wanting to finish strong instead of just trying to go all out for the win. So he definitely has more than one race that he's got to get through. So definitely thinking big picture. And points-wise, just trying to maximize his day with what the hand he's been dealt with.
Absolutely, been keeping an eye on right here with the 19 of NNR Cowboy as he went across the start stripe right there. 9 laps remaining in the NNR Truck Series race here at Watkins Glen. That'll wrap up week number 2 for the Truck Series. Again, we still have the Xfinity race tomorrow night, right around 8:30, well, between 8:30 and 9 o'clock Eastern. To watch those guys take the lefts and rights here at the Glen. And then, of course, on Thursday night, the Cup guys, old big boys, are going to navigate their way around this seven-turn track as watching the 19 really try to do everything that he possibly can to make up just a little bit of time. Still sitting right there in P number 3, but I'm working my way back to him. He's got the 16 of Krabby Soup. I'm sorry, Classic Stew rather, and the 00 getting closer and closer to that safe light back end.
Yeah, it looks like Bowling was still able to come out in front of Cowboy Matt for second. We'll see if he's able to make it any ground up, if he's gonna go hard out, but he's still, I think, a quarter of a lap behind Beast, and Beast having those 2-3 extra laps on his tires probably got the distance he needed, but we'll have to see. Bowling's pretty talented, and he made up half the ground. We'll see if he can make up the other half before the finish.
Yep, watching this battle here between the 16 of Classic Stew and the 00 of Bossy Gio. Boss has been fast. We'll have to see if he'll have anything for the 19. I said it before. The further and further you get up in the running order, the faster and faster the trucks get. Rather. We always say the cream rises to the top. Well, right now the top 3 so far: the 88 of TGMB's, 38 of Bowling. No surprise there. Right now, NNR Cowboy sitting in P3, 00 of Bossy Gio sitting P4, and the 16 of Classic Stew right now sitting in P number 5. Everybody's pretty much between the bottom of the S's and turn 7. That is the distance from P1 through 5.
Yeah, as Bowling comes out of turn 1, Beast just exited the S's, so it's definitely the small gain on Bowling's part. We'll have to see if there's enough time for him to catch up. So it's definitely going to be a patient waiting game. Beast needs to hit his marks and not make any mistakes, and Bowling's going to try his best and to try to catch Beast. It's just going to be a patient game now, and hoping that the strategy isn't ruined by a caution. And pretty sure when a caution comes out, I think it'll be a definite get tires, since it's been just the last pitted with 13 to go for Beast.
Yeah, Beast just came off of turn 7, heading towards the start stripe to signify just about 7 laps remaining, I believe. Anyway, I'll double check once either Monster, Cowboy, or Swats make their way on by the start stripe. But yeah, Beast doing a phenomenal job. Nobody in his rear view whatsoever. Doesn't have any trucks in his immediate future either, so he can really just, as you just said, concentrate on his line, hit his marks, and do everything that he can to extend that gap. That way, if he does make a mistake, or if he does come across a lap truck or something like that, he's got a little bit of time to work with. He can manage his tires, manage his gap back to second. If he does come across someone, he doesn't have to push to really make his way on by. I'm going to work my way back to that 19 to Cowboy right now. Is a battle right now for P number 3. Bossy Gio getting closer and closer. Looks like the 19 might have got held up by just a little bit from that 26 Luna machine, and still see that 16 of Classic Stew sitting back there in P5.
Yeah, looking ahead of Beast, and any concern to anyone that will be a lap later, it's definitely, I don't think 98 will put up much of a fight for Beast. Papa Bear's pretty respectful when he's out on the track and gives room when he knows he doesn't have to fight, but Beast is just going to take his time and not going to try to hurry. With the 26 and the 19, they've had history, so it's really curious to see if the 26 was just racing him hard, try to put on his best Newman impression, but it definitely 19 has gone by, so we'll see if the 00 has the same amount of pressure added by the 26 to get around him.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody's suffering now from this 26, that is, I'm pretty sure he's a lap down. I could be wrong. Unfortunately, nobody's really changed up their running order or their menu for a little bit. I haven't been able to get a shot at the running order. I'm not sure if Yeti took over P number 4 and put Bossy Gio back to P5 and 16 of Classic Stu back to P6, or if Yeti is actually a lap down. But the 88 of Beast, as we get back on board with him, he is starting to reel in the 98 of Pop Bear, and I have to completely agree with you. Pop Bear is always respectful of the leaders anytime they catch him. I'm sure he'll give more than a lane for that 88 to get on by. Pop Bear just checking in, saying about 5 laps left, and yep, you got it, J-Pa. 5 laps remaining, and that 88's got a dominant lead over the 38 of Bowling, back to the 19 of Cowboy. As you see the 88 move on by Pop Bear. Pop Bear swung way wide, let that 88 go.
Yeah, it definitely was going to come down to Bowling not having enough time. Bowling definitely did make a really good recovery. Going back to the 26, I think since he was off strategy due to getting damage and his self spin out, I'm pretty sure he is a lap down as he looks. Oh, he actually just caught the wall and spun it before the second to last corner. He may have gotten Boss G, but hard to tell.
Yeah, I think Bossy Gio might have clipped him just a little bit. That'll really allow the 16 Classic Stu to close up big time. 3 laps remaining here, and we are staying green, even though the 26 Yeti went around. 2 trucks were not collected completely to the point where they went around. Yeah, Bossy Gio kind of rubbed up against him a little bit, but he didn't spin out, so we stay green, and Classic Stu able to benefit from that little bit of contact. This is going to be a great battle right here for P number 4. I'm sorry, no, I believe this is for P4. It's still P4. The 88, 38, and the 19 of Cowboy, your top 3.
Beast is coming up on another truck that he may put a lap down. It's going to be Swats, and I think Swats may do the same thing as Papa Bear and let the 88 by. With only 2 to go now, as we only have 2 to go. Looking back for Bowling, Bowling's just now hitting turn 1, and Beast is in the middle of the S's. So definitely Beast may ride here behind Swats. He's definitely in no hurry. I don't think Bowling's got enough time to get back to him, so that's still going to be a good recovery by Bowling for the day he's had, and B's just been able to capitalize on everyone else having issues in this race. Grabby at one point he was 4th in like the first round of the pit stops, but I think he had an issue in turn 1 and has fallen back to behind the 20, probably like 8th.
Working my way back up to that 88 of Beast right now. Like you said, he's got that 51 of Swats. Swats, really, he's just been running his race. He knows that the leader's right behind him, trying to stay on the lead lap the best that he possibly can as the 88 comes on by. What's that?
We are in our credit 1 white flag, final lap.
Yep.
Nope.
Yep, actually, I was just going to say the 88 as he went on by the start stripe right there. He took that win, and it's going to be the 38 of Bowling P2, Cowboy P3, Bossy Gio P4.
Actually, no, there's the caution that came out.
So something must have happened a little bit further back, but Bossy Gio P4, Classic Stu P5, Monster in 6th, Spoiled Milk 7th, Krabby Soup 8th, Tenacious Z 9th, and Swats, as you just saw him trying to stay right in front of the leader. He brought that 51 home in P number 10. J-Pie out there in chat, big old beast. We're going to go ahead and back out of this. I don't want to go to the Glen. I've had enough of the Glen this week over on the iRacing side. We're going to take a quick little break to allow our top 3 to work their way into the booth. Me and Master Killer will be right back with you. Stay tuned. All right, as I promised, back with our top 3. We're going to start off with driver 19 of that Safe Light Toyota Tundra. Cowboy, welcome back to the top 3. Bottom step on the podium, but man, it's going to be a great points night for you all in all. You mentioned in the before we went green, before qualifying and whatnot, said, Pete, I don't know what you're going to see or what you can expect out of me tonight. Did you think this top 3 was in the works? Did you feel pretty comfortable? I know you spent a lot of time on iRacing this week here at the Glen. Not quite sure how much time you spent on the Xbox, but buddy, good job, man.
Well, thanks, Pete. I spent about 30 minutes before we started racing, practicing, and just worked it backwards and just kind of worked a strategy. That's why at the stages at the ends, I was starting up front and I just ran my own race and didn't really worry about anything.
Both Master Killer and I were kind of curious what you were doing at the end of stage 2. You stayed out. Were you banking on another caution come out, or were you? We saw you and I pulled you up on stream, showing you taking it out of gear and really just letting that 19 coast for a while. Not only on track, but also under pace. But you still had to pit one lap before pits were closed for first stage 2. Is that what your plan was that you put out there? Or were you thinking that maybe everybody's stacked back up, there might be a wreck going into the first turn or into the bus stop or something like that going back under green?
Well, I know I wasn't going to be pulling or beast tonight, so I just kind of worked my own strategy, and I know I started in the back and was going to work my way forward, and just staying out. I knew in my head what laps I wanted to pit, and so I just worked that strategy to my best, and I kind of got caught up in a mess when a guy came off pit road, and I was like, oh man, I hope this strategy's not over with, but I just stayed with it all night.
Well, man, you got it to work for you. Got a nice top 3. Where'd you finish in the first couple stages?
Stage 1 I finished 12th, and stage 2 I finished 11th. But I stayed on the lead lap. That was my goal, was to just beat the leaders whenever they came back around, and that's luckily I came out. For some reason I kept getting penalties every time I went into pit road, but I figured it out.
Man, big. Well, you definitely improved on your overall night, and you really showed that track position meant the world. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you, Pete.
You got it. Mr. Master Killer, you get to talk to second place and our points leader, old Mr. Bowling.
Bowling, you come into the race points leader. You get the stage 1 win, and then second stage 2, and then you end up finishing second. It was a pretty eventful day for you. Stage 1, it looked like you were struggling for grip on exit, and for stage 2, and then stage 3, it looked like you got that truck going. How eventful was your day?
Extremely eventful. We'll just stop right there and say it was pretty eventful. I mean, overall, I had a really good car. I don't know if I would have ever passed Beast even if we were together. We were very similar. He had me in a couple spots. I had him in a couple spots. Pretty much took me the whole race to figure out, some new braking points to try to be better, and it helped in the third stage. I mean, my truck was a rocket ship by braking at a different point. I gained a lot of time, but then of course lost a lot of time speeding down pit road. Overall, I mean, it was a pretty good showing by me. I mean, I got punted to last place, and then drove back up through the field there before we even had to make pit stops. So I mean, I showed I had the speed. I don't think there was anything else I could do except for not speed.
Yeah, you came back from a pretty good far distance, at one point being half a lap down, and made more than half of that back up. It just seems like you ran out of time, and Beast just had an incredible truck tonight. Is there anything you think you probably could have done during the race, other than the whole pit sequences, or it was just pretty straightforward what you had to do tonight?
I mean, as you guys saw in the first stage, he was all over my bumper. I mean, he probably had the faster car at that point. I came from iRacing last night at Watkins Glen to the Xbox night, and it's two totally different tracks and how you have to race them. So the whole first stage, I was kind of trying to race it over aggressive, and it actually hurt me by driving too deep into the corners and then trying to slam on the brakes. So once I figured that out, it helped, but at that point in time, I was 25 seconds back, and like I said, I wheeled it back within about 10 seconds at the end there, but it was too late, and I'll take my P2, and we'll move on to, I think, Talladega next week. So
that was a pretty incredible effort to get back up to P2, and I'm sure at one point you realized, big picture, I got to try to get the most points as I can, and try to minimize the loss of points that you Beast gained, and how he did tonight. And definitely big picture is trying to stay the big picture is trying to get to the end and trying to get the best results week in and week out. Is there anyone you want to thank? And
absolutely, I'd like to give a shout out to you guys for doing the broadcast tonight. Pete, as always, and you, Master Killer, for filling in. I'd like to give a shout out to SWATs for setting all this up and keeping us going week in, week out. And yeah, on to next week.
I'll take it right back to you, Pete.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Good job, Bowling. All right, guys. So yeah, now we move on to driver 88, old TGM Beast. In the Cup Series, I'm used to saying CGMX Rose. I think I'm going to have to start going with TGM Beast. Man, Beast, you've got the support of every single one of the members of the J-Pop militia. Including Master Killer here in the booth. Of course, J-Pie out there in chat. He even dropped 88 bits to try to cheer you on. Cape dropped 38 for Bowling, and then Cinepuse out there dropped 98 for the one and only Master Killer. Pop Bear rather. But man, you definitely seem to have about the only truck that could compete with Bowling all night long. And when you were finally able to get ahead of him, it seemed like he kind of checked out. You were able to pass him getting into some corners, and then he, cross you right over and then pass you back. How even were your trucks throughout the stages?
Through that first stage, it seemed like we had pretty even trucks, as Bolin said. Some spots he would gain on me, some spots I would gain on him throughout the track. That stage 1, though, that was a wild ride. That racing was some of the best I've ever had at a road course. Stages 2 and 3, it was looked like it was going to be more of the same in stage 2. Capitalized on a mistake I think Bolin made, past him, and from there I checked out for the rest of the stage. And then stage 3 was just unlucky events for that 38.
It really seemed keeping an eye on you coming down pit road, like you were being ultra conservative before you hit that commitment cone, knowing that a few people got black flags tonight, including Bolin. Were you just very, very cautious, bringing it on down to not get that flag thrown, or was it just the game making it seem like you were going in a little bit slower than normal?
I've lost races off of speeding penalties before, and once I heard that the 38 had gotten a speeding penalty, every stop after that, I just made sure I woed it down pretty early before the commitment line, just so I wouldn't speed. And the same thing with coming out. It was just really slow getting out of the pit road.
Well, man, you came in P2 in overall points tonight. You got P2 in stage 1. You won stage 2, and obviously the win here. So 49 points ahead to Bolin. Man, it's the math here is gonna get it's crunch time. You've really got to outperform Bolin all the way through. Like he mentioned just a moment ago when he was talking to Master Killer he mentioned going to Dega next week. We've seen you up front there as well, and if I'm not mistaken, we're running the old chain graboid and J-Pop package. I'm not 100% sure if SWATs has adopted that or not, but how much are you looking forward to Dega, or are you not, knowing how it's really just a wild card race?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. It is a wild card race, and anyone can win it, and that's like the glory of it. But you look at it the other way around, anything can happen. You could be running up front and first and second one lap and be wrecked out the next. It's definitely a wild card race.
Well, of course, we definitely wish you well when you get there. I'll probably talk to you beforehand, but man, congratulations on the W tonight. Way to knock it out, when it really, really matters here in the playoffs. Any shout outs? I know you got the J-Pop militia in your back pocket, but what else you got?
Shout out to Mr. NNR SWATs for keeping this truck series going every week. Shout out to you guys, Pete, Master Killer, for putting on the broadcast tonight. Shout out to you, Master Killer, in specific, for filling in, giving Pete a broadcast partner tonight. Then shout out to the rest of the NNR truck series for making it week in and week out, and giving us a decent-sized field every week.
There you go. Congrats one more time, man.
Thanks,
Master Killer, man, I definitely appreciate you coming out, hanging out, stepping it up, joining me in the booth. One hell of a race. I don't think I've heard so many people say it's probably the best road course race that they've ran, even out there in chat. So, man, big thank you to you for stepping up. Any final thoughts about the race that we called tonight?
It was an interesting race for sure. You definitely had to be on your toes when you were restarting around other drivers on the restart, and then it was pretty much all clean air. And once you were out there, it's just minimizing the mistakes and just having a clean truck and a clean run. Definitely want to send some well wishes to Chevrolet and Expert for their ailing families, and we wish them the best.
Yeah, shout out. Unfortunately, he had to back out of Tuesday nights due to work. But yeah, Expert said that he was going to do whatever he could to try to chime in, taking care of his mom. So Expert, definitely hope that your mom is feeling better. Big shout out to her. But guys and gals, that is going to wrap it up for tonight. The NNR Truck Series at Watkins Glen is officially in the book. Your winner, the 88 TGM Beast, knocking it out of the park. P2 is going to be Bowling. P3, the one and only NNR Cowboy. We will be back tomorrow night between 8:30 and 9 o'clock Eastern to watch Master Killer and the rest of the Xfinity Series tackle the Glen. You're not going to want to miss it. If you haven't already, go on up, smash that follow, keep notifications on so you know when we go live. One way or another, it's going to be one hell of a race. The week is just getting started. Check y'all later. See you somewhere around the track. Later.